So life is a funny thing. We're born innocent, but as we grow up, we change according to the world around us, who we're friends with, what we do, our activities, and things like that. The quote I got today reads, "The only consistent people are the dead." And I think that's true, because nobody stays the same. Everybody changes day to day, whether it be for better or for worse. So today I'd like to take this quote and talk about how the people around my life have changed and how I myself have changed. So growing up, I've had a few friends who have stayed with me since about kindergarten. You know, I had a tight group of 4 friends. Two of them went their separate ways, and recently one of them actually stabbed me in the back. And I think that's a pretty good indicator, as you know, to that you can't count on people to stay the same. You can only count on yourself, because regardless of who you're friends with, they're always going to have their own experiences that are going to change them for who they are. I found out this friend was a liar. He just wasn't a good person. I took a look at that and I said that I don't need somebody like that in my life. I need to surround myself with good people, surround myself with people who are going to help me change into a better person day by day. My family inspires me every day to look in the mirror and to just tell myself that I need to be better today than I was yesterday. Whether it be, my daily interactions with people or my work ethic at school. I just try to take every day as it comes. It's pretty interesting to think that, we're born as a child, a cute child, innocent. We don't know where we're going. We always, as a kid, imagined, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman, but we never truly know what's going to happen to us. I know for a fact that I've changed a lot since I've started high school. As a teenager, I was a really mischievous kid. I didn't really like following the rules. I was always out with my friends doing things that we shouldn't do. Looking back at that, I want to mature from that. I want to separate myself from my past. I want to change who I am. So nowadays, I'm much more responsible than I used to be as a kid. I don't sneak out of the house anymore. I'm not as mean as I used to be. And honestly, it's kind of crazy to take a look at myself in the mirror and see that I'm just not the same person because I decided to change for the better. I can honestly say though that I think the only people who are not going to change for you are your family. Those are really the only people you can count on, because they're going to be for you. They're going to be there for you regardless of where you are in life, the choices you made. And with that, I'd like to say that the only person that you can truly count on is yourself. Because again, the only completely consistent people are the dead. Thank you.
All right, River, I like the opening concept. The transition of the topic was very clear. You had a point that you were trying to make. You laid out 2 points for us. That's going to be fine. On the secondary points, in developing them, you talk about your one backstabbing friend, although we never really get any details on that, and so I think it stays a little abstract as a consequence. The material is very generic. And on the second point, all we get are platitudes. We don't really get any illustrations here. Just kind of you're wandering around the subject. Basically, it's saying the same thing with different words repeatedly. And so you need to maybe find some way to illustrate that you feel confident that you can tell a story on. Your voice projects well. It's easy to hear you. I could hear variety in your emphasis, and you do sound energetic and emotionally engaged when you're speaking to us. So that part's good. Your gestures, I think you got a little bit more comfortable as you went along. There was a problem at the beginning of the speech with the hands in the pockets, and you seemed a little bit uncertain about where you were going. The longer you talked, though, the more you engaged, and the closer it came to being that you were kind of talking to the audience, and the gestures were purposeful as opposed to just kind of randomly shoving your hands in your pockets. The eye contact with the audience, you have a tendency when you get stuck to look over at the quote as if it's going to have grown some additional information there since the last time you looked at it. I sometimes refer to that as refrigerator disease. You keep going and opening the refrigerator, hoping something has appeared there since the last time you looked, and it hasn't. So that's why you got to put the trust in yourself. That's why you want that structure early on and kind of stick with that, because that becomes a distraction to you while you're speaking. Like I said, I thought at the beginning you looked a little bit nervous. You have a lot of excessive foot movement at the beginning of the speech. You settled down during the presentation, got more engaged, and that's exactly what you want to do, settle down a little bit. It would just be nice if you could be that way from the beginning as well. All right, thank you.